United States government officials are in discussion with Ivory Coast government in order to build drone bases in Ivory Coast. Take a look at this. This is what is happening. Decision has not been made official yet, but according to the report, they are discussing about it right away. This movement is to make sure the presence of United States still remains intact here in West Africa. No longer military bases. Right now, drones bases in Ivory Coast following its withdrawal from Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. You can see what is happening right now. U.S. government doing everything possible to still remain here in Africa. Now, let's ask ourselves this question. What are the needs of these drones bases in West Africa, in Africa here? What are the needs? What are they going to be doing over there in Ivory Coast? Why is U.S. government doing everything possible to still be here in Africa? They are in Middle East causing havoc. In Middle East, they still want to be here in Africa with their drone bases doing what here in Africa? This is the question we're supposed to be asking right now, especially Ivory Coast citizens. This is the question you guys are supposed to be asking your government. Why are they allowing United States to build drones bases in Ivory Coast? Can United States do the same? Can they allow Africa to build military bases in United States? Is it possible? The answer is no.
I would be grateful if you could share this video with just 5 to 10 people. Every African needs to see this. Welcome to GhanaPlusTv, the digital heartbeat of Africans' truth. This is more than just a channel. It is a movement, a space where African stories are told by Africans' voice, raw, rare, and unapologetic. From culture to current affairs, from untold story to breaking news, we bring you the narrative that matters, the ones mainstream media skips, the stories that shape our identity, our strength, our future. If you are seeking truth, pride, and perspective, you are in the right place. Subscribe, like, share, and stay connected. Let's own our story together.
Wow. Ukraine is still on the attack on Russia. Russia retaliation trembled Trump's, heartbroken, weeping, and almost put negotiation at a pause. The peace deal and talk at Istanbul today ended up on a deaf ear because even though Russia and Ukraine stay close proximity, geographically, their visions are far apart. The attack on Russia is not something that will be forgotten in history. The retaliation of Russia on Ukraine actually disturbed Trump. It was heartbroken and actually called Putin crazy. It's appalling to see how the world is rolling. EU on the verge of division and also on the verge of actually incorporating Zelensky into every single move and NATO at the same time. Zelensky said to NATO, you either invite me or allow Russia to win. He's playing a very wonderful game and is winning. It looked like Zelensky want to actually be the president of NATO, EU, and the new world that we see today. After the attack on Russia, Zelensky went underground for some time, maybe some minutes or some days or some hours. But when he came up, he talks about the new technology, that war is not so much about the large amount of ammunition you have on ground. It is about the tech level. And NATO wonder, what kind of tech is Zelensky talking about? And of course, we know we are in a new generation. And that is, by the way, Russia retaliation surprises every single person. But I believe it's not all Russia can do. Now, should we sit down here and analyze what Russia and Ukraine are doing, and America backing, and all kinds of stuff that is going on within Russia and Ukraine? Of course, no. I do all this thing to bring your attention, to tell you a particular thing. Now, Russia and Ukraine, they went on a negotiation table, peace deal today. It lasted for about an hour and few minutes, and they never come together. And that was yesterday, right? They never actually get anything wonderful out of it because their vision apart. What does this tell us as Africans? I see a lot of people want to take side with Russia, and other people want to take side with Ukraine. But it's a big mistake if you want to take side with any of these people. It is time for us Africans to focus on Africa and learn lessons from what these world powers are doing. Now, you see, billions of dollars have been wasted. These people have wasted billions of dollars, and they still have hope of rebuilding after all the destruction that is going on right now, because they have what it takes. They have the system, they have the people, they have the mindset, they have everything it takes for them to rebuild back. I want to call your attention as an African. Since the death of Muammar Gaddafi of Libya, after the liquidation of Libya, after the destruction of Libya, do we have any nation, any country in Africa that could vow to build back Libya? Till today, no nation in Africa was able to say, we're going to put Libya together. This tells you something. Are people that have vision, and they have built their vision over the years, make sacrifices for their vision, nothing can stop them. When they sit on the table to talk, this is not about Zelensky. This is not about Putin. This is about a people who have a clear vision for their nation. They have a clear vision for their people. They are ready to make any sacrifice to make sure their country image is protected. This is not so much about who fail, who win. It is about the image of their country. We, the Africans, what kind of image are we fighting to protect? When Trump comes into the negotiation table, it's not there purposely because of Ukraine or because of Russia. It's there because of America, the image of America. And these two world powers, they are having a conversation not because of Africa, but because of themselves and their country. What can we learn from this? An African or Africa need a united vision. A vision that cannot be divided by tribe, by religion, by geographical location. Listen to this carefully. Pay close attention. This page is dedicated to the building of Africa. Mindset shift so we can get the new Africa that we need. A generation that refuses to be silenced. Like Zelensky, Ukraine is a small country. Russia is a bigger country, massive country. But what stands out with Ukrainian, it is not just about their president, but it's about the resilience of the people. The old generation of Africa, they fought to survive. This new generation, we must fight to thrive. But you cannot fight to thrive if you have no vision. One of the reasons why they could not come into an agreement on the peace talk is because of the vision that Ukraine has and the vision that Russia has. Not until you are able to deal with the vision of Ukraine and the vision of Russia, there is no peace. Until there is a common ground for the vision to thrive and to succeed, there won't be peace. Our generation will not fight with weapons. We're going to do things differently. And this is what I call self-education. America is not coming to save Africa. Russia is not coming to save Africa. Ukraine is not coming to save Africa. China is not coming to save Africa. Africa should be independent of the Western world and the rest of the world. You can collaborate, we can collaborate. We can work together with whoever sees the vision of Africa. Whoever aligned with the vision of Africa, we will work with such individual. But to put ourselves under somebody, pending to when they have time to save Africa, that season is over. It is a season that we fight differently. We unite. Unity is powerful. And this is what is giving Ukraine and Russia this power to keep doing whatever they're doing. We must fight with patriotism. The level of patriotism in us is what is going to give us power. Whatever Putin is committing to this war and crisis is a result of his level of patriotism. Whatever Zelensky is committing to this war is a result of his level of patriotism for Ukraine. Listen, Ukraine cannot be patriotic for Africans. Russians cannot be patriotic for Africans. We Africans, we must be patriotic enough to fight, to defend the name, the integrity, the sovereignty of Africa. And like I've said over and over, whether you are in Congo, or you are in Uganda, you are in Kenya, you are in Nigeria, you are in Ghana, you are in Cameroon, it doesn't really matter. We must fight to be patriotic in our thinking, in our relationship, in our behavior. We must not have a discriminatory mindset. Because in Russia, there are many languages, but they fight together. In Ukraine, there are many languages, but they fight together. In America, there are many languages and tribes, but they fight together. We must fight together to save Africa and to keep Africa in the best possible way. It doesn't matter who lose or who win in Ukraine. Until Africa win, we must not rest. Are you ready to support Africa? Hit the like button. Leave me your comment. Be civilized in your comment. You don't need to insult any country or any individual. I just want to hear opinion, because we're about to roll out a program that will help Africa to build and develop.
Let's talk about Ukraine drone attack on Russian military facilities. Well, we all know that it is NATO drones, of course. They provided them with the intelligence, everything. They even showed us satellite pictures. Of course, Ukraine don't have such intelligence. They don't have satellite. It is obvious that this particular attack was carried out by America. It is obvious. First of all, there is nothing special about this attack. This is not new. We've seen it over and over again. This is not the first time that they are striking deep into Russian territory. They are playing the same old game. When they realize that things are going bad for them, they strike deep inside Russia, then divert attention from the main events that is taking place in the battlefront. This is not new. They've done it over and over again, and it hasn't changed anything in the war front. This particular attack is not going to change anything as far as this war is concerned. Now, to those who are confused, let me help you understand. The Ukrainians didn't launch the drones from the front lines deep into Russian territories. The Ukrainians, what they actually did was, together with, the CIA and the British MI6, they decided to send in these drones piece by piece. According to Zelensky, it took them 18 months. 18. So they started this whole operation way back from 2023. This is to tell you how difficult it is to cross the Russians, defense lines. Note, with the CIA, the British MI6, with unlimited amount of resource and money, yet it took them 18 months. And to those who are like, we are disappointed in Russia, why did Russia allow it to happen, blah, 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 blah. When you read the act of war, you understand that when it comes to war, both sides suffer. It is called war. Whether special military operation, whatever you want to name it, you can name it. But the most important thing is they are all governed by Geneva Convention rules. This is not movie. This is real life. You can't just wake up and start throwing bombs anyhow. I still don't understand why Ukraine allowed the Americans and the British to use them. When such attacks happen, some people in Russia are always happy. After this attack, a lot of Ukrainian citizens are now running out of their homes. Some of them are sleeping in train stations because they are scared that the Russians will definitely retaliate. And anybody who has followed this war from day one, obviously the Russians are going to retaliate. And the retaliation always makes me question, is it worth it? Especially attacking the Crimea Bridge. The Crimea Bridge is a red line. The Western media claim that Russia has lost 1/3 of all their aircraft, which is absolute nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. By the way, look at their previous records and you understand that they are lying. The Ukrainians initially said they hit about 60 aircraft. The Russians said it was a lie. The Ukrainians came back, they brought the number down to somewhere 30. Let's even accept, let's play the devil advocacy here. Let's even accept that Ukraine took down about 100 Russian fighter jets and bombers. For crying out loud, this is Russia. This country have more than 1,000 warplanes and fighter jets. This is a country that is capable of producing these weapons that they have lost. So, where from all this jubilation? What is actually going to change from the front line? Is Ukraine going to regain back all the territories that they have lost? Hell no. And another reason they are doing this is to give Ukraine some form of leverage in the negotiations. Let me give you guys one example. You see, during the war between Egypt, right, and Israel, Khrushchev was able to give Gamal Abdel Nasser over 100 fighter jets. A country that can give others over 100 fighter jets. Are you trying to tell me that this country, if they lose 30 aircrafts, that is going to be the end of their air force? Is that what they are trying to tell us? Well, I don't expect you to believe me, but I want you to check the track record of the Western media. They told you that Russia was out of tanks. We later realized that it was actually Ukraine and the West that are out of tanks. They told you that Russia have no spare parts. They are taking parts from washing machines and dishwashers to, manufacture weapons. Well, here we are. It all turned out to be lies. So it is up to you whether you believe in what they are saying or not. It's up to you. You have brains. Think. The figures Ukraine and the West is giving is exaggerated. The Western media is lying to you guys. They claim that Ukraine destroyed about 41 Russian bombers, which is absolutely false. It is not true. The actual figure is around 11. These are old Soviet Union bombers. The Tupolev Tu-95, the Tupolev Tu-22, they are just about 11. And out of this 11, around 7 can actually be repaired. Anybody with common sense, anybody who has followed this war for a very long time, you will realize that this is how the West and the Ukrainians behave. They always exaggerate figures. I said in my first video that this is not new. We've seen it over and over again. Let me refresh you guys your memory. Back in 2022, Ukraine hit the Angers air base, and we were told that they destroyed a lot of Russian bombers. They said they destroyed a lot. After investigation, we realized that they only destroyed just one Tu-95 bomber. A bomber that was manufactured somewhere in the 1950s during the Cold War era. Now, another point is America has violated the treaty. Are you aware that there is a treaty between America and Russia that forced both countries to put their bombers in an open field? So the question is, why are the Russians not putting their 5th generation fighter jets outside? or the generation 4.5 or 4th generation fighter jets outside. Why bombers? You see, the difference between a fighter jet and a bomber, they are not the same. Note, both Russia and United States have satellites. So the reason why these bombers are in an open field is to prevent one party from attacking the other party all of a sudden, because you need these bombers to carry heavy nuclear weapons, right? So if Russia is to move, or if Russia move these bombers, America will see them through their satellite. And if America also move their bombers, the Russians will also see them through their satellite. So these are basically measures, right, to de-escalate, nuclear weapon or the threat of nuclear weapons. You see, so this was a treaty that was signed, and America knows this very well. They went ahead, then decided to use the Ukrainians to destroy these bombers, knowing very well that it is because of the treaty that has forced the Russians to put up these bombers in an open field. Well, I think the Russians have learned their lesson, because there is no point in them following this treaty if the other party will not follow the rules, right? So I think they've learned their lesson.